What's up, believers? Welcome to Make Us Believe, a wrestling podcast by fans for fans. I'm one of your hosts, Michael.
I'm your other co-host, John.
And thank you for joining us in what is kind of shaping up to be a momentous day. I didn't think about this previously in our last episode, John. This
Mm.
is our season finale.
Oh, I didn't think about that either. Good call.
Yeah, because I figured we split it at WrestleMania, right? Like
Yep,
WrestleMania ends the current season like the Super Bowl does, and then going on to the Raw after starts up a new season for us.
that's
So I figured
true.
we'd adjust the podcast, set it up kind of the same way.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
yeah. Here we are. Our season finale episode, go home episode for WrestleMania. Now, we'll preface this. We are recording this on Friday morning, so we have not seen SmackDown yet. So anything we say
Correct.
from here on out is not with the knowledge of SmackDown happening.
Yes.
So that with that in mind, we figured we'd just do a quick go home episode for WrestleMania and give our predictions, and then just let the dogs lie where they will, as it were.
Yep.
Sound good?
Yep. I love it. Yep. So I got my picks ready. I'll note them all. We'll do a little scorecard like we did after the Rumble. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're just having fun here, and we got our predictions ready, and interested to see what you guys think.
Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and kick us off on Saturday.
All right, so the first one I got on the card is Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. For this one, I got to go the Usos and LA Knight. I think that it just makes more sense. Logan Paul and Austin Theory are sans Paul Heyman. It seems like, unless he comes out with them too, but it seems like with Brock and Oba, Paul Heyman's been shifting his focus onto them. I expect that to change after Mania, but just because we haven't been giving the Vision so much focus leading into Mania, I think it just makes sense that the Usos and LA Knight take this one. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of feel that same way. It, we've seen the Vision come up with some not necessarily underdog victories, but they have come away with some of the bigger match victories that I didn't expect them to come away with. But that was
Hmm.
also, when they still had Seth, when the Bronze were still healthy and competing. This
Yeah.
does kind of change that a bit, like we are looking at the Vision's B team, for lack of a better term.
No, that's a
At
great
least
way
that's
to
how
put
I
it,
would
and
see it.
you're right. Yeah.
So with or without Paul, I still think that them adding iShow's speed is one, let's get his viewers on there, like I talked about before. Let's get his viewers on there to help with the numbers. And realistically, they're fighting two and a half against three,
That
against one. And in that three, you have LA Knight, who's hella over right now, and you have what's being touted as the greatest tag team of all time. So I really don't think that come out of this looking great. I'm gonna agree with you, Usos and LA Knight. Because
Yeah,
if they
despite the
lost, what does
training
that do to
package,
them?
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I agree. It's basically a little bit of a handicap match. I know they had the big iShow Speed training package where, it looks like he's learning some stuff, but how much can you learn in a session or two? I think that, he might
Yeah,
have a cool spot or two, but ultimately it would really be a bad look if the Usos and LA Knight lost this match.
it really would. It would kill any momentum that LA Knight had going forward, and
Yeah, and he
I feel
needs
like
a
it would
break
really
now.
hurt. Yeah, he does. Like, because I constantly every week is like, what are we doing with him? I want
Exactly.
on him. Like, I would love to see him as a world champion also. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to see it just to see what he would do with it.
Totally
But
agree.
if they lose, I don't see that ever happening. So,
No, no.
all right, what do we got next in the hopper? It was the unsanctioned match, correct?
Yep, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, unsanctioned match. I'll spare you an additional rant on my feelings on unsanctioned matches. I think I think Jacob's going to win this one. There's a lot of rumblings that Drew's filming a movie. and it kind of makes sense because this buildup where it kind of started really hot, it hasn't been as hot as I feel like it could have been. And I think that makes sense if that's what's going on. But yeah, I think Jacob winning this is probably in the cards.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you 100% again. Again,
All right.
people, we don't talk about this beforehand. We just know what we like, and this
It
is
is
why
it
one of
is what
those
it
things
is.
that like we've been like best friends for like legitimately decades, literally decades, guys. And this is why. This is one of those
Two
reasons why.
yeah,
So
two like-minded individuals.
indeed. So yeah, I agree that Jacob goes over on this one. It you hit the nail on the head when you said that the feud came in, started hot and heavy, got us really interested,
Mhm.
and then just kind of trailed off. They did their promos. We're gonna insult each other for through promo and stuff. Couple of run-ins, but it was not hot and heavy like it was in the beginning,
Mhm.
where you would feel that the quote unquote unsanctioned match, which I'm with you, absolute garbage format. Like just call it a no holds barred or whatever. Like
Exactly.
it's stupid. But anyway, when it started out, it made sense. Now, if you were to put that match type with where the feud currently is simmering at, I would feel like it would be a mismatch. Like, why are you having that extreme of a match for this?
Right.
There's not that much animosity there. So I definitely feel like they lost some of that build.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, and then next we got the Women's World Championship, Stephanie versus Liv. I'm taking Stephanie on this one. I think that, she's at this point she's had the title for a while. She hasn't had a ton of defenses. I know that they're really trying to build her up as a character and as a force to be reckoned with. A victory over Liv at WrestleMania, especially as well as this match has been built up. I think that would do a lot more for Stephanie than it would Liv at this point. Liv is already a very established star. Stephanie is certainly projected to be one, but she's not there yet. This would be a huge step for her to win.
This is where we're going to be our first disagreement.
Okay,
I'm going to take Liv on this one. I feel
totally
like
fair.
winning the Royal Rumble is a certain thing, right? And I'm not,
Hmm.
again, we mentioned this before. Just because you win the Rumble doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win at Mania. I super get that. And that should not be the case, right? Like that
Yeah,
you shouldn't be guaranteed the belt. But looking at Stephanie's title reign so far, and granted it was tuned down by injury. I will give her that. But
mhm,
even so, it wasn't great. There wasn't a lot going on, especially in the beginning when she did get hurt. And the character kind of got over, but it didn't really get over because they didn't really have anybody for her to like, they weren't doing anything with Stephanie. So they weren't letting Stephanie, you know, get over with
yeah,
the crowd or show what she can do or anything like that. When you threw in Liv into the mix, like a Liv that's coming back, onto TV and stuff. She's a fan favorite, and I feel not a knock against Stephanie, but I feel like this is just going to be like one of those what's best for the title situations. Like if we kept it on Stephanie and help her build the brand, it's going to take a while. Whereas you could give the title to Liv and just have her hold it even as a transitional heel champion, and she would still do more for the belt than I feel like Stephanie holding it would. So
yeah. No, no, totally fair points. Real quick on this, what do you think of that Live music video?
why the fuck did we have that
I
even?
know.
Like
I
what
I totally
what
agree, man. It's
I saw
cringe.
that and I was like, "Oh, look, we're doing she's trying to do this. Okay, no shame. If you want to use your fame for that, cool." And I thought it was going to be a little snippet. I didn't realize that we were going to spend like 3.5 minutes
Oh my
forced
gosh.
to watch it on Raw. I as soon as I realized what was going on, I was like, they're really doing this shit. Like we're having to sit here and watch the entire music video from a professional wrestler. It was
Yeah.
like almost as cringe as like that 80s or 90s video out there
Oh
where you
yeah, of
have Vince
McMahon. Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
on the stage dancing with all the wrestlers playing the instruments behind him. It had that
Yeah.
level of energy, like for me.
Yeah, it was bad. Like I without exception, I'll say like if you're already an established celebrity and then you kind of want to dip your toe into music, it's always cringe to me. I think if you're an established musician, it's easier and I can accept it more if you want to dip your toe elsewhere. But for some reason, when people try to dip their toe into music after already being established, it's the most cringe thing in the world to me. But yeah, I had to touch on that because it's been bothering me ever since. But without further ado, I will move on to the next match. It
No,
is the
man, that was a
women's.
good call out.
I had to. I had to. But yeah, next match we got is the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We got champion AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. This is the first one I had a lot of trouble deciding. Ultimately, though, I decided to go with AJ Lee. I don't want AJ Lee to win. As I had mentioned in previous episodes, I'm back on the Becky train, but I don't know what they're planning with AJ. Like I don't know if she's slowly starting to establish herself as being a more regular superstar again. I'm not sure. It seems weird to give her the strap if she wasn't. And if that's the case, I would think that a longer title reign would probably be better for reintroducing her to a newer audience. So for that reason, I went AJ. But yeah, for the record, I'd prefer Becky.
So again, we're gonna
Okay.
disagree on this one.
No, good.
But
Good.
I am myself and all of the rest of us here on the Becky train are happy to have you on board. Like we're
Eh,
just welcome.
yeah.
You know, pull up a seat. The dining car is open. Let's do this.
It feels good. Feels good to be back. It's been a
All
while.
right, all right. You know what? It's like riding a bike. You hop back on, and it's like you never left. It's okay. We all
You know what?
we understand.
In a build up that hasn't done a ton for either of us, I will say, it's good to have these silver linings. When you're out on somebody, it's not easy to get back in on them. And
Yeah.
Becky, and again, I've gone into this more on previous episodes, so I won't beat it to death here. But yeah, Becky's done a really good job lately, and yeah, she's won me back over. But all right, so we got me, AJ, you, Becky
No,
on that one.
well, I'm gonna say this. I don't think that he like I think Becky goes over literally just because, w- w- like you said, what the hell are they doing with AJ? There's no
Right.
path forward. And if the thing was to give her the belt just so she could win at WrestleMania, then that's a cool moment. But then if the rumors were true that she signed a multi-year contract when she came back,
Hmm.
what do you do for the other years? Like
I
what do you
mean,
do with her after that? You have her lose on Raw afterwards, so she had her Mania moment and then whatever. Like it doesn't make sense. And at it's shit, it's holding the belt hostage at the same time, if that's the case. And really, like she's gotten the best of Becky every single turn
that's a good
like in
point.
everything. So it's like, are we just literally having one of the greatest of all time? And it's not that her saying it, guys. Bleacher Report has said it.
Yeah,
ESPN
Sports
has said
Illustrated
it.
said it.
Sports Illustrated said it. Everybody is saying it.
Yep.
Like, are we really gonna have just AJ Lee come back after 11 years or whatever, 10 years, and jump into the deep end against the greatest of all time, and then just literally own the shit out of her? Like, how does Becky keep any,
Well,
you know?
listen, it's she's not just your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. She's also Becky Lynch's daughter's favorite wrestler, and that's got to mean something, right?
Hey, you know what? Kids like to skip, and no shade on AJ, but kids like to skip. It's easy for them to like the wrestler that skips. That's all I'm saying
Yeah,
out there. People
fair
love
enough.
Boba too. You know what? Half of it is seeing a 6'3" Nigerian man freaking dance down the
Dude,
walkway.
his stomp is
You look in
baller,
the
man.
crowds. You look at the crowds and see if his strut is not hitting with people, man. Everybody's dancing.
I'd be
There's
lying
almost
if
as
I
many
told
people
you that I
dances
didn't do the
as
strut.
there. I would be too. I strut every time Oba comes out. Every time.
Excellent. So the next match we got is the Women's Tag Team Championship. We got champions Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Nikki and Brie Bella. As I mentioned on our
Everybody's
previous
favorite
episode,
match.
yep, as I mentioned on our previous episode, I unfortunately, and again, this is another one where I hope I'm wrong, but I unfortunately believe that the Bellas are going to win this match because otherwise I have no clue why they brought them back. Again, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse here, but um, I don't think they're talented on the mic. I don't think they're talented on the ring. I think they look amazing for their age. And I don't know what their purpose here is in this generation of wrestling. So, but I do, like I said, they brought them back. So, if you're not going to give them the tag team titles, which mean nothing, what are you doing? So, I do think the Bellas unfortunately win because of that. But for the record,
Okay.
I would like Bailey and Lyra to win.
Would love Bailey and Lyra to win, but I am in the same camp. I don't think that that's going to happen much as I would love it to happen.
Mm.
Um, I think Nia and Lash are going to retain, honestly. They just got the belts, and I mean, they are the kind of heel team where you can take it away and give it back pretty quick without it seeming like a transitional champion type scenario. Um, but it just feels weird that you would establish them as specifically Lash, right? Like, let's be honest, this whole tag teaming build with her is to establish Lash. It's not to reestablish Nia or get a whole lot of stuff with Nia. They paired Lash with someone who is of similar size
Hmm.
and knew their way around the ring at least a little bit
Hmm.
and would get cheap heat because of who they are and let Lash do her thing. It ended up working out well. And I feel like a win over a Hall of Fame tag team at WrestleMania kind of cements you down as a good, as you're as the champion, like it
Yeah,
cements your legacy a little bit. So I think it out of the list of people, I feel like Lash is the one that needs the win the most out of everybody and therefore her and Nia come away with it because they're a pair.
it would be a really big win for them. Particularly Lash, like you were saying, because everybody else in the match is either a Hall of Famer or a guaranteed future Hall of Famer, besides Lyra, who, like that, that hasn't been written yet. But yeah, I mean, as
This
far
match
as the
is
women's division,
fucking
it is pretty
stacked.
star-studded. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Like as little
and
interest as I have in it, the names in there are big names.
yeah, which is crazy to me is like how can you have a match this stacked? Literally 7 out of the 8 participants are Hall of Fame or
Mhm.
almost like guaranteed Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
and Lyra, who's well on her way. Like let's be honest here, like that's crazy. And to have that match have as little interest in it as it has is absolutely nuts. Like you fucked up, creative. Just throwing that out there.
Yep, that's the women's tag titles for you. Fun fact, do you know who Lash Legend is with? I can't remember if she's married or if she's just dating him, but do you know who she's with?
No.
Trick Daddy.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
hi. Okay.
just a,
Yeah,
just
no,
a, just
that's a
just a
power
little
couple
tidbit.
right there.
That
Yeah,
is a
that's a
power
power
couple. I
couple.
agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
I would love to
Um,
talk about it, but we got to move on.
yep. Next match we got is Seth Rollins versus Gunther. This was another tough one for me to decide. I think even though Seth's just coming back, I think Gunther's got a lot of momentum. I do think that there's probably going to be some interference. I would predict that Braun Breaker is probably going to make his return at WrestleMania, interfere in this match, help Gunther win. Not that Gunther necessarily needs it, but there is a brewing feud there with Seth and the Vision. So I think that Braun comes back, hits Seth with a spear. Gunther gets the win, and then you don't have to revisit Seth and Gunther. Gunther gets the victory, and then Seth shifts his focus back to the Vision, and then you're able to properly finish that feud.
Percent agree. No notes. That's exactly what I feel like is going to happen.
All right, all right, fair enough. And then we have the main event for night one. And again, I'm not going to go back into how I don't believe there's more than one main event, but it is what they're calling it. So we have the undisputed WWE Championship with champion Cody Rhodes going in against Randy Orton. I I strongly believe that Randy Orton's going to win. And honestly, like I'm okay with it. Like, I've made no secrets. I'm a big Cody mark. I am a Cody crybaby. I would I would rank him my favorite wrestler today, but it is, it is a good time for Randy Orton to get his 15th. I love the heel turn. We have Pat McAfee guaranteeing he won't be in wrestling ever again if Orton loses. I don't see that happening just because he is very involved in the company. Also, I think that it just, and again, not that I want this at all, but I think it makes all the sense in the world that um, at Backlash we'll probably get Cody and um, oh my gosh, what's his name? Singer who's siding with Cody, who I can't stand. Jelly
Jelly
Roll.
Roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're almost guaranteed to get Cody and Jelly Roll versus Orton and Pat McAfee at Backlash. Um, again, unfortunately, but it seems to be so clearly written right now. So I do think Orton's going to take this belt.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Cody's had it now again. And I think that it's getting into that Cena territory of like that Superman that's super stale, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it
it's
is.
kind of
Like I
getting
said,
there.
as a big fan of his, I have to agree with you on that.
Yeah. I hope that we don't get the jelly rolled Cody versus Randy Pat matchup at Backlash. I would hope that this serves as a catalyst to turn Cody heel. Um, because I feel like that would be a good time to do it. He's not hampered down. He has no storylines. He just had a major loss. He has to revisit, his mindset. It would make sense for him to go through that kind of like depression break and come back just more edgier and then ultimately turn it into a heel thing. But I don't think that's also going to happen
Yeah, I mean,
because they
I'd
don't
like to
think
see
this
that
shit. I
too.
don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. But yeah, I'd bet a doll hair that that we're gonna get that tag match at Backlash, and that's how it's gonna go. But yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
I am not gonna be happy about it, even though I fully am emotionally prepared for it. All
Yeah.
right, so we'll kick off night 2 of WrestleMania now
Yeah.
with the Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Now, this was another tricky one for me. I really have gone back and forth, but because Oba Femi has gotten the best of Brock at every stop, I actually think Brock is going to win this match. And I think this is going to be one of those, big crowd disappointers that, you kind of have to have at least one on a big PLE. And I think this is it. I think Brock goes over.
I think it's going to be Oba. I think he's too over. They gave him a shot. Like they gave him the mic, right? They gave him the
Hmm.
mic and actually let him cut a promo on Monday, and it was good. Like it was not bad and at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. He has the chops as a champion. We saw that in NXT. He has the chops on the mic. He can hold his own in the ring. Obviously, he matches Brock as far as size goes. Like we haven't
Oh
had
yeah.
anybody be able to do that in a long time. But
Hmm.
it's not like you go in and either like Brock is just a mountain of a man against the other guy. Like that's not the case here. I think that Brock is in a place in his career where his job is to put over people or put that shine on people in the spotlight. And I think that he's going to go in and have a good match, but I think ultimately Oba's going to take it.
Yeah. No, I like I said, this is a match that could go either way. And even the fact that we disagree about it means that they've done a pretty good job of creating some doubt and confusion about where that match is going to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
this is
This is
another
one
one
of
that,
like three matches that I actually care about watching.
yeah.
I was telling Amanda, I was like, yeah, we got 2 days of WrestleMania and I care about three matches and that's it.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, this is just one of those that like I could see. Like I said, I could see Brock taking it, and I could even see him potentially revisiting this match at Backlash with maybe Oba getting the win there. But yeah, just because he's gotten the best of him at every step, I'd be shocked if you let Oba do that to Brock and then had him go over on Brock. I don't think Brock's in a position where he's just going to start putting people over. I think it's going to be very specific and strategic, and that's just what makes more sense to me. But we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
The next match we have the Intercontinental Championship uh, with Penta going in as champion versus the bouncy boy Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD versus Rusev versus Rey Mysterio. So this one, I've kind of shifted gears a little bit. I might have overthought it, but I kind of actually do think that they are going to have a title change, and I think they're going to go an unexpected route. I think that they're going to have Rusev win it because Rusev, I get he's kind of in the same boat. Now, don't get me wrong, I think he's a lot more talented, but he's kind of in the same boat as the Bellas, where it's like, why did we bring this guy back if we're just again not going to do anything with him? Um, I'm not sure that Rusev has ever had a WWE title. Now, I could very well be wrong about that. It's obviously been a long time since his first run, but I don't recall him ever having a title there. Obviously, he was the TNT champion in AEW. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
to me, Rusev is a
he
guy
was
who
the United
just
States
can't get over.
champion. He was the
Oh, was
United
he?
States champion
Oh,
at
yeah. Okay.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I no, I
Cena
actually
beat
do remember
him.
that now. Yeah.
Yeah, Cena beat him at WrestleMania for the
Yep.
title, and then he started the Open Challenge.
Good call. Good call. That's I totally forgot about that, but you're right. Yeah, so I do think that I do think they give Rusev the strap on this one. Like I said, this could go either way. I'm far from certain on that one. And like I said, I probably overthought it, but that's what I'm going with on this match.
I went back and forth on this one also, not just because of the amount of people that are in there, but kind of like in that same realm of like, what does it mean to each person?
Hmm.
I don't think like the money is on Javon, right? You want Javon to have it. But at that same token, I don't think he's ready. And Penta just got it. So I think it's going to stick with Penta. I think Penta's going to come out on top. What if they threw a curveball? I feel like it's going to be JD.
So
So my money's on Penta, but with the asterisks of like JD in the secondary. That's what I'm going to be looking for, kind of thing.
yeah,
But I think it's going to be overall Penta.
I definitely would prefer JD to win. I think JD's been kind of sitting in the background long enough. He's extremely talented. I love JD. I'd like him to win. I just don't see it happening. Penta, he hasn't been the champ for too long, but he also hasn't done that much with it. And that's not really to discredit him. It's just about that they haven't done a ton with lately. Um, Javon, you know what? As much as Javon's a weird guy to me. Like I want to like him, but his character is just a little too corny and too. This is gonna sound shitty, but too positive for me. Like I don't know why. It is actually starting to get to the point where I'm a little annoyed by him.
He
But I
feels
want to
really
like him.
green. He feels really
He
green.
is. He is.
And
He's
it's
super
not in the ring.
athletic.
Like in the ring he looks great, but his
Yeah.
character feels like
Yes.
a guy who just got called a 21-year-old who just got called up from NXT into the big leagues. Like
Yep.
that's what his character
Yep.
actually feels like. And I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, that's who he is.
Mhm.
But also, I mean, Trick Williams got called up. He didn't react that same way. I mean, and I get
No.
professional
Yeah.
sports athlete coming in, totally different atmosphere. He's already kind of been to that show kind of stuff. Like I get it, but I don't know. That's just the energy that Javon gives me.
No, yeah, and that's totally fair. Totally fair. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. That's kind of a wild card match. Next we got the WWE Women's Championship with champion Jade Cargill going up against Rhea Ripley. Yeah, for this one I got to go Rhea. As stale as Rhea's character is to me, I think at this point we have to get this belt off of Jade. It's been a
Yeah.
really tough title run. I don't think she's defended it more than once on TV. It's just not working out. I don't think it's going to get any better. And we've talked about this previous episodes before. Doesn't mean that she can't come back and have a better title reign later, but this title reign isn't it. And in past episodes I compared her to Liv's first title reign too, which I thought was terrible. But Liv also had one of the best title runs after that. So I'm not giving up on Jade. I just this title reign has to end. And like honestly, she could drop this title to literally anybody. It just can't be Jade anymore. And since it's up against Rhea, I'm going Rhea.
Super fair. I'm taking Rhea almost for the same, literally everything you said.
Mhm.
She has made the women's uh, championship as irrelevant as CM Punk is in Roman Reigns' eyes, if not more so.
Mhm.
Like that level of irrelevance is where this belt is at. Like it means absolutely nothing right now, in my opinion. And that's in part because the person they have holding it isn't doing anything with it. Like Stephanie
Yeah.
has had about as many title defenses as Jade has had, and she still makes the belt look like something that you want to chase.
Yes. Yeah, I
So I
agree.
mean, it's not the amount of matches or whatever, it's literally the person doing it. And she was out with injury. She still makes
Yeah.
the belt
Yeah.
more relevant than the other one. So you need to get it off. You just need to get it off her. You need to get it off of Jade. Let Jade do some other stuff in the mid card or whatever for a while.
Mhm.
But this ain't it. This ain't it. At least right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. All right. So after that, we got the United States Championship with champion Sami Zayn going against Trick Daddy Williams. For this one, and again, we talked about this on the last episode, probably more, but I think this one has to go to Trick. It just kind of seems like, Sammy's got a lot of stuff going on. And really, he does have a lot of potential. The crowd's turning on him. Um, Trick is a great heel. Sammy's, I think, got to establish himself as more of a true heel, and he can do that outside of this feud. I think it makes sense to give Trick the strap, and kind of what you were saying when we were talking about Javon. I think that Trick Williams came in here and he just looks like he was born for this. Like he's got star written all over him, and I think he's ready to hold this title.
Yeah, I agree. It's Trick. I love Sammy. I don't love United States champion Sammy. I want world champion Sammy. There's nothing against
Agreed.
Sammy. I want him to have better than a mid card title, and you're not going to have both. You don't do double champions like that really anymore. Especially not on someone who like a Sami Zayn, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah, you get him to get rid of that belt so he can go on to the better one and let Trick start to establish himself in the company. That's what makes sense. It doesn't make sense in my opinion, other than the fact that, like we discussed before, Sammy makes more sense than Carmelo would have as far as giving him the rub. But
Hmm.
aside from that, it is what it is. Trick Williams
Yep.
and
Ne-
new.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think it's happening. Um, Next we got Finn Balor coming out as the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio.
So mad.
Yeah, I know. They blew it. They should have kept it. At least, they made it pretty clear. I thought that they had done plenty on making it, on hinting it. They were not subtle hints. They didn't have to officially announce it, but yeah. I think the Demon absolutely goes over this match. For one, the Demon, again, to my knowledge, the Demon's only lost once in WWE. He's a pretty protected character. We haven't seen him in 3 years. I think that, and Dominic Mysterio is still cursed. I think that it would be
It's true, he is still
complete.
cursed.
Yeah, I think that it would be a complete shock and disappointment if Finn didn't win this match.
I agree. Yeah, it is super protected, and it's one of those reasons that Finn stopped doing it, right? Like
Hmm.
Finn Balor can get the job done, so he has to call on the Demon to win the matches, and that's what it's always been, right? Like it
Yep.
was that for Samoa Joe in NXT. It was that for I think when he won the Universal Championship for that initial run, right? Like before he got injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it, yeah, it's just he can't get it done, so the Demon has to. And that's one of those things that like he hated that aspect of it and he wanted it to just be a fun thing that happened. And they turned around, brought it back literally right into that. Not the saying that Finn needed it to beat Dom, but I don't know. They blew this whole thing. They in my opinion, they blew this entire thing. I've can't tell you how many times I've just ranted
Botched it.
at my wife uh regarding how upset I am over this botch and like them just missing the pop. Like she has had to hear me just randomly screaming throughout the house as I run up and down the hallway. They're botching the pop. They're gonna miss the pop. Why are they sacrificing the
I
pop?
know. I know. I
And
hate
I'm
it.
just
I
like,
hate it.
it literally, it's just every time I turn on wrestling and I see one of those vignettes, and I just lose my shit. So
Yep.
yeah, creative, you buggled this so bad.
They
So
did.
bad.
They did.
And yeah, it's just so they could get more numbers, which again, you wouldn't have to do if your programming was decent. So just do better. Do better next year. That's all we can tell you. It's Finn. Sorry, a long way to get to it's Finn.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
Dom, but it's the demon. It's gonna be Finn.
Same. Good rant. Totally agree with everything you said. And then for our final match of WrestleMania, 20 hours later, we got
20
World Heavy.
hours and 1,700 fucking celebrity cameo
Yep.
shots in the crowd later.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. We have the World
Uh,
Heavyweight Championship with champion CM Punk taking on the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And honestly, this is a pretty tough one for me too. This will be CM Punk's first true WrestleMania main event, in my opinion. And
yeah,
for that reason, I'm going to give him the edge. I think that Punk takes this.
you know what? I went into this episode all through yesterday and into this morning going like, no, it's Roman. It's going to be Roman. Like it has to be.
I've
Fuck
been real
that.
back and forth on
CM
it
Punk.
too. Yeah, I
CM Punk.
agree.
I
I
think
think it's got
for
to
all
be.
of those, I think for all those reasons, right? Like it is his
Mhm.
first WrestleMania main event, regardless of that shit that you wanted to they tried to say last year of the triple threat and stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
this is CM Punk's legitimate main event. He is main eventing the second night, which, as we've both said in other episodes, is the real main event. And if you need more evidence of that, look at the fact that night one tickets are discounted and night two tickets aren't. Night two is the
Yep.
real WrestleMania, and that main event is the real WrestleMania. There's no such thing as a co-main event
Yep.
in there. So
Yep.
that's the main event of WrestleMania. CM Punk has it. He's made it. Roman's been there before. Roman will be there again. Um, I think this goes to Punk, and I think that we might, on top of that, be privy to a double turn during the match. Some
Oh,
old school Steve Austin, Bret Hart action where CM Punk comes out of this a heel and Roman comes out of this more of a face. As
that
much
would
as his
be interesting.
anti-hero face would let him. But I think that CM Punk is going to do some underhanded, dastardly shit to maintain the belt and come away with the victory and set him up to, lose it at Backlash or something. But I think they're going to give him his flowers and he's going to get his WrestleMania moment because that man has earned it.
Yeah. Yeah. I I uh I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. So yeah, I mean, we'll
Re-
definitely have to see.
Are you
I
are you ready
huh?
for the PS5?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
the
Let's
computer
let's get it.
simulations. Okay,
Let's get it.
so the un so I'll just like read through them real quick. It's for the unsanctioned match, the computer or the PS5, I'm just gonna call it the computer, picked Jacob Fatu in
Okay.
the the six-man tag match with the Usos and LA Knight and the Vision with ISHO. It picked the Usos and LA Knight.
Okay. All
For
right. So
the
we're on the
women's
same page right
tag,
now.
yep, so far so good. Now here you go. The computer picked the Bella twins to come out victorious in the women's tag match.
Ah, well,
It
sadly,
did
probably gonna
pick,
happen.
yeah. And there are two asterisks to these. Both iShow Speed and Nikki Bella or Brie Bella are not in the game officially. So I did have to download community created wrestlers of
Fair
those
enough. Fair
people.
enough.
I did try to find wrestlers that were approximately where I think that their stats would be and not like super jazzed up.
Fair play.
So we're not like overall 100 that, Bree
Mhm.
walked through the table or anything like, it's nothing like that. But I
Yeah.
did feel like that disclaimer need to be made. For the IC title, we had Becky Lynch coming out.
Mhm.
For
Okay.
the women's world, Liv Morgan got over and Cody Rhodes retains and still.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
Uh, For night two, we had Penta win the IC title ladder match.
Okay.
Oba beat Brock.
All right.
Sami Zayn retained against Trick Williams.
Interesting.
The Demon beat Dom.
Of course.
Uh, Jade beat Rhea, which I did not expect.
Oh, all right.
CM Punk retained against Roman Reigns.
All right. Okay,
That's
so
what the PS5 has to say about that.
we'll see. We'll see if it comes to fruition.
Yeah, see if anybody, any of us three, worked out like for that. So that yeah, that'll be good.
All
Um,
right. All right.
and then yeah. So after this, we're not going to on our next episode, everyone. We are not going to recap uh SmackDown or this Raw that happened before Mania because why? We'll
Mhm.
give the results of Mania, kind of how we thought about it, but that will be our first episode next season, season 2, episode 1,
All
coming at you
right.
probably
All right.
sometime next week. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
I'm excited. And listeners, hey, thanks for a great season, man. I had a lot of fun doing it. I can't speak for Michael, but I'm pretty sure he did too. This has been awesome. I'm looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, actually, like, so I don't know how many of you are honestly like listening all the time out there. If you give us a listen with any kind of regularity, thank you so much. This is literally just two friends sitting down to talk wrestling because that's just what we like to do. And the fact
Hmm.
that you're giving us your time and energy in any shape or form just to listen to us talk about this is truly humbling. Like, I have no idea why you would want to spend your time just listening to us talk about wrestling, but I'm not mad at you. I love the fact that you do, and we love you for it. Like, please keep doing it. Let us know if there's anything we can change or if you any way that we can get better. Like, we
Yep.
want to do that for you because we just love doing this. I went through the analytics. John, did you know that we have listeners, at least at some point throughout this season, we have had listeners in over 24 countries
That's incredible. That's incredible.
around
So
the
yeah,
world. Yeah.
just to say it again, man. Thank you guys so much. Obviously, podcast is growing, so yeah, can't say how much I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, it's been a true pleasure and a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Same for me. I for damn sure didn't expect it to get that kind of reach.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. And yeah, I honestly I don't really know what to say. I'm just kind of humbled by that. Like, thank you guys so much. It's been really
Yeah,
cool. This whole thing has been a really fun thing. And yeah, I get to talk wrestling with one of my best friends. So thank you for allowing that to happen.
yeah, yeah. I
So
agree, man. Awesome.
yeah, so after all of that, uh to conclude season 1 of the Make Us Believe podcast, I am Michael.
And I'm John.
And until next season, don't stop believing, guys.